What is up, everybody? I'm Gojil, and as I promised you guys, and you guys actually surprised me, but you actually managed to reach my goal, even slightly surpass it. You guys were able to match my What If Goku Split into Two, my first part. You managed to hit it to actually 4 to 3 likes, and I'm really impressed by you guys and your support, and I really appreciate it. Now, as I promised, I'm now doing part 2. So, yeah, part 2. So this will happen in a 5 years time skip before Raditz shows up. Both Goku and Kakarot would have been training intensely hard. Of course, due to Goku's family life, Goku actually slacked off, and eventually leading to Kakarot actually becoming even stronger than Goku. Piccolo is also grown stronger, but not comparable to both Goku and Kakarot. Goku most likely would have almost reached his Kaioken power level, but it would most likely be a slightly lower, while Kakarot would be able to surpass it being a lot higher. Whereas those Rafis actually able to see their power levels, with Kakarot having a power level of 450 and Goku having a power level of 420. Of course, it's confusing why there's two Kakarots, but Goku says his name is Goku, while his evil self, or what he calls him Kakarot, is Kakarot actually. Which of course kind of confuses Raditz, but he is trying to attack Goku. Raditz tries to actually defend Goku, but they're both hit instead. Raditz takes Gohan, as Goku and Kakarot are triggered by this, even though Kakarot is not the father of Gohan, he still feels really close to Gohan because he sees him as a nephew. Even though he's part Goku, he does know that he cares for Gohan even a lot. So they both chase him alongside Piccolo, using their fight ability and not using the Nimbus. Both of them were able to arrive to our location, and due to them being 3-on-1, they were most likely able to get the advantage. And due to both Gokus having the same skills, they're actually able to coordinate with each other pretty well since they have been training for the last 5 years, ever since Gohan was born. With this, of course, both of them were easily able to tag team Raditz. Due to their power levels combined would actually be 870, which will most likely actually able to bring slightly the edge to them. And with Piccolo's power level, who's a lot higher, being around 130, being slightly higher than Goku, will most likely put them slightly closer to Raditz's power level. With this, of course, they're both easily able to tag team Raditz and eventually able to overpower him. But of course, Raditz likes to use his trump card, being the Great Ape. Of course, both Goku and Kakarot are shocked, but Kakarot decides to actually go for a tail. It uses as a structural disc, with Goku doing the same, so they can both cut it off, just in case if Raditz dodges one of them. Of course, this does happen, but the second one, the structural disc that they both throw, was able to cut off Raditz's tail, but that crushed Goku as he was in the brink of death. Then that led to Kakarot actually suffocating to the same events. Because of this, because they're both linked to one another, if one of them suffers incredible amounts of damage or nearly death, the other can actually feel it as well. So Kakarot falls to his knees, seeming almost out of energy, but knowing that he must finish off Raditz so they can protect Gohan and the rest of the Earth, Kakarot holds him in a full Nelson. Even though he has pain in his body, he tells Piccolo to fire the special beam cannon now. Piccolo, of course, reluctant, decides to do that as he fires it and pierces a hole through both Raditz and Kakarot's chests. Kakarot then falls to the ground, almost nearly dying. He's dying alongside Goku himself. As both of them are dying, Kakarot apologizes to Goku for not being strong enough to actually protect Gohan, nor to even trying to protect himself so he can save Goku. But Goku tells him that it's not his fault, and he respects him that he went out as a true fighter and a martial artist. Kakarot smiles as both their bodies disappear, seemingly as they both die. Eventually, of course, they both would have been going to heaven, as Kami was able to practically provide them with that. Of course, both Gokus would most likely be motivated by one another to train and eventually cross Snake Way. Due to both of them having motivated one another, they were most likely able to reach King Kai's planet at least 2 to 3 months early. With this, they were actually able to get a lot more training, and due to them being almost equivalent to one another, they actually able to have incredibly close sparring matches. With this, of course, they both would have learned Kaioken from King Kai, and eventually, this would lead to them gain massive gains of power. Eventually, with the Saiyans does arrive, they both have power levels over 9,000. Goku having a power level of 16,000, and Goku's maximum Kaioken is times 4, but he can actually hold much longer than the original canon when he actually would have able to control Kaioken. While Kakarot's power level is 17,000. If only Goku would have focused on trying to master both Kaioken and the Spirit Bone, while Kakarot would have tried to only use Kaioken, so he most likely would have a better edge. Since he doesn't think that the Spirit Bone will suit him very well, so he decides to just go with Kaioken. That's why his power level is a lot higher than Goku's, because he's actually able to get a lot more Zenkais. And due to him focusing on Kaioken, he actually has a much higher level than Goku's, being a max level of Kaioken of times 6. So they both of them are much stronger than their counterparts. With this, of course, they're both able to cross Snake Way much faster, just in a couple of minutes. And actually, they're able to get Sensui so they can recover much more stamina, so they're actually able to arrive much more early, eventually stopping Nappa from hurting the others and even killing Piccolo. Both Kakarot and Goku are ready to face off against their opponents. They're easily able to deal with Nappa, but eventually decides to actually tag team Vegeta. But of course, Kakarot decides to go first, with Goku allowing it. Kakarot's power level is actually close to Vegeta's power level, and Vegeta is actually pushed back by a little bit. And due to both Goku and Kakarot having the same martial arts experience, you most likely mean that both of them are now much more experienced with their fighting styles, and now can easily predict their opponent's movements if they have different styles than them. So yeah. Because this, Kakarot was most likely able to overpower Vegeta. Vegeta, of course, will use the Power Ball and eventually transform into a Great Ape. Of course, this Power Level will kind of shrink, only increasing to a power level of 170,000 instead of the original 180,000, which will most likely would have shocked both Goku and Kakarot. Both of them know that even if they use their max levels of Kaioken, they will not even come close to a power that Vegeta is now using. But Kakarot decides that he must go beyond his limits. Goku decides to do a distraction as Goku powers up to Kaioken times 3. With his power level skyrocketing to 480, which is enough to slightly damage Vegeta and distract him, as Goku uses a Kamehameha. Vegeta is slightly scratched by the attack as Kakarot powers up. He needs a lot more time to power up his Kaioken so he can increase his power. Of course, Goku is able to damage Vegeta and he's actually able to lower his power level to 150,000, which is just enough for Kakarot. Kakarot then powers up a lot more as he knows that he must not fail his other self. As Kakarot shouts Kaioken times 8, increasing his power level a lot higher, increasing it to a power level of 136, but he knows that it's not enough. Kakarot knows that this may be destroy his body, but it's the only way. As he shouts Kaioken times 10, then for a brief moment, Kakarot is able to use this level of Kaioken. In just an instant, Kakarot is able to knock down Vegeta, but instantly, Kakarot falls to the ground due to his stamina being depleted. Goku quickly throws him a Senzu Bean as Kakarot eats it, getting a Zenkai and able to recover all his stamina. Eventually, both Gokus decide to let Vegeta live, since they both know that Vegeta might change. Since Kakarot did himself, Goku knows that Vegeta will change as well. Even though Kakarot is kind of reluctant, he decides to agree with Goku. Eventually, of course, the votes what happened in the Dragon Ball still happens, and most likely, Vegeta is still let to live. But of course, since Goku and Kakarot are not damaged in that much, they're most likely actually able to go to Namek a lot earlier. But they decide to actually go with the gravity ship, going at the same time as both Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin. Both Goku and Kakarot would have been trained by the way they're getting stronger and stronger. But Kakarot can actually feel that they're close to achieving something way beyond Kaioken. Something that actually their certain race is actually bond with. Kakarot does not know why, but he always has these mixed emotions. These memories that Goku is supposed to have, yet they're in Kakarot. Kakarot explains his visions, explaining about a man and a woman who also look exactly like them. And they say to them, they're sending him to planet Earth. Goku tries to remember, but it seems that Kakarot actually has those memories from him. It seems that Goku cannot even think or even remember of those words. Kakarot thinks that maybe it's because since they split, Kakarot actually gained the memories of Goku, which were suppressed when he hit his head. Meaning that Kakarot most likely would have gained their certain memories, which is still incredibly impressive. Goku thinks that maybe Kakarot should meditate so he can focus on trying to unlock all the full memories, while Kakarot agrees since he wants to learn a lot more. Of course, they still continue to train, but they focus on meditation for Kakarot so he can learn more about their same past. And eventually, they're actually able to learn a lot. If you're wondering, yes, Piccolo did join him in training, so yeah. With this, of course, they're able to increase their power levels, but that is the end of this part. See you guys in the next one. See you next time, my fans. Also, a quick announcement for you guys. I'm not gonna make movies. I'm only making full stories. If you're wondering why am I doing all the separate parts of my what ifs and why can I not make movies, I actually am not that experienced with making Dragon Ball what if movies to practically combine multiple of my separate parts of what ifs. Practically because I'm using my phone and I'm not using anything else. Yes, I'm using my phone to actually record something like this. So yeah. Well guys, I hope you understand why I cannot actually give you movies, but I can still give you full stories and explanations. So yeah, hope you guys understand that. Well guys, this is the end. See you next time, my fans. Bye.